You won't believe it, but Neat has miraculously come back to life. What an extraordinary and ridiculous play this is. Let me reveal it to you. The poetry I know is just like the poetry you know. But Kerfer took your kid out. How ruthless. Just when Carl was about to say more, Neat suddenly sprayed him in the face. Seeing this, Carl jumped into a taxi to chase after Neat. Soon, Carl found Neat on a cruise ship. She didn't run, just pretended innocence when questioned. Carl found the Danish scene chair was for Dr. Kurt by Neat, who was sent to a female virtue asylum after falling for her cousin. Later, she began a nightmarish life there. The therapy was more like hell. Once inside, the girls had to toe that only Dr. Kurt's signature could lead to freedom. On her first day, her guardianship rights went straight to him. She got assigned to Lita's dome and was frequently forced to drink the fairy juice. Lita said she could help her fly off this island. Neat understood that if Dr. Kurt found out she was pregnant, she would face a hell of a torment, so she took Lita's friend. However, she didn't know it was all Lita's evil scheme. Lita lured her to a little cabin by the sea, promising that the mysterious people there could help. The truth was, Lita just wanted to see Neat humiliated, and then secretly notify Dr. Kurt, accusing Neat of trying to trade her body for poor Lita was so naive. After Carl learned the truth, dignity and life probably went down the drain. Even though Dr. Kurt didn't spare Neat, ruthlessly taking away her fetus and forcing her to undergo sterilization, Charles didn't sit idly by either, occasionally abusing the girls in the asylum, really chilling. Years later, they mucked at the dilapidated girls' asylum, letting them return to normal life, but losses were irreparable. After leaving, Neat got back with her boyfriend, but he wanted a complete family. Knowing she couldn't meet his expectations, Neat had to break up, all thanks to Dr. Kurt. Hatred consumed her life. She vowed to revenge the devils who ruined her. She spent over a decade plotting revenge, yet Carl couldn't understand why Neat didn't go after Kurt, the main target. Neat replied, because years later, one day, her ex-boyfriend suddenly came back to find her. They spent some joyful moments together, and seeing someone she once loved made Neat realize how much beautiful time she wasted due to hatred. She didn't want hatred to rule her life, so in that moment she let go of the past, which was the real reason she didn't kill Dr. Kurt. Carl not only sympathized with her ordeal, but promised he would catch Dr. Kurt. He said no one knew about their meeting today, and she never intended to catch Neat. This is why she secretly investigated. Her purpose in meeting Neat was to find the truth. After he left, Carl contacted Lewis and learned his assistant went to Dr. Kurt's alone. They suspected Dr. Kurt had taken the only witness, Noel. Lewis couldn't reach his assistant and had to hurry to check on her safety. The scene shifted to the assistant, and sure enough, she was in Dr. Kurt's office, finding Noel unconscious. Dr. Kurt looked at the assistant with indifference, as if everything was under his control. The assistant hurriedly told her colleague to call for backup while she stayed to handle Dr. Kurt. Just when the assistant sighed with relief, her colleague suddenly shot her. Unbelievable. Turns out Dr. Kurt had powerful support, even within the police department. Talk about darkness. Finally, after handling the assistant, Dr. Kurt aimed to kill the awakened Noel, but Carl arrived timely, heroically rescuing both. After emergency treatment, the assistant was saved. At the end, Noel bravely exposed Dr. Kurt and others' conspiracy. With Noel leading, the police received accusations from over 60 victims about sterilization incidents. Plus, Carl found the shooting helper was the motorbike attacker that night. What a coincidence. With clues converging, dozens of victims' accusations led to Dr. Kurt's expulsion from court, a scapegoat. But in reality, the real killers remain high up in power. Speaking of the classic horror film Childhood Shutters, so comes to mind. Today, we'll discuss the writer's other indie sci-fi film, Upgrade, released in 2018. It's also one of the best cyberpunk films in recent years, truly something to look forward to. Without further ado, let's dive into what this $6 million film has to offer. The story takes place in the future, 2033 in the USA. In an era of advanced technology, the main character, Gray, is still a traditional mechanic. He insists on doing everything himself and doesn't trust AI one bit. However, he has a stunning wife working in AI. Today, Gray is delivering a friend's car for repairs and will drive it back to return it. But he needs his wife to drive the autonomous car so they can go together, or he won't be able to make the call after returning it. At this point, Gray doesn't know it will ultimately change his wife's, and humanity's fate.